What we're going to do now is make our full-scale template. We've actually received our approved drawing, our rough scale drawing, back from our instructor. And if you take a closer look here, we are going to actually recreate as best we can this entire rough sketch. Of course, we have a top view and a side view, and we're going to recreate that on our full view. So you'd get one of these sheets from your instructor, and because the car actually points to the left, in other words, I'm going to orient it the same way. You could, if you wanted to, flip the car around this way, but a lot of people get confused by that. I'm going to turn it around this way. Of course, you'd get your wooden block here from your instructor, and the first thing I'm going to do is draw my side view. Now, before you do that, you need to make sure that you clearly identify the bottom of your wooden blank. Now, if you take a closer look here, this part right here is at a 90-degree angle, or a right angle. If you take a look at this side right here, or that angle, that is clearly not a 90-degree angle. The bottom of your car is the one adjacent from the back to this 90-degree angle down here. Okay, so this is the bottom of your car. I've had many cars come in that they treat this as the bottom. And of course, that angle is not your 90-degree angle here, so that would be a problem. So make sure you double check that. If you're in doubt, have somebody else check it. Then you might even want to have your instructor take a look at it too. So I'm actually going to mark BOT on the bottom of my car to make sure, my blank, to make sure I get it right. Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is come on over here to my full-scale drawing, or full-scale template, and I'm going to line this up on the bottom with one of these lines. I see a lot of students that create this crooked. You don't want to do that. You want it to be nice and straight. At the same time, I'm going to go to the back here. I'm going to line it up in the back and line it up with one of the vertical lines. Once I'm satisfied that I have a good mark here, or a good straight alignment, I should say, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a traced outline of that wooden block. Okay. There's a little nick in this particular piece, so I'll just erase that and straighten that out, and that looks pretty good right there. So I've got my side view. Now what I do, in order to save time, I'm going to go ahead and extend these lines up, just real light in the front and in the back. And I'm going to use this wooden block as a straight edge. Again, just a little time saver for you. Make a light line like that. Come over here. Make another light line like that. So now I've got two lines, one in the front, one in the back of my part. Now, this is the top of my car, so what I'm going to do is take this face down to the top view here, and I'm going to recreate the same thing. Again, making sure that I'm nice and level, and my piece is not crooked one way or the other. So now I almost have a recreation of my rough drawing, only in the bigger version, but I have to put one important detail in, and that one important detail is my engine compartment. You'll notice that in the back of your block, you actually have a engine block, or an engine compartment that's been drilled in here. And the way I do this, I actually use a pencil that I'm drawing with, put it into the engine compartment, and then put my thumb and my forefinger here as a measurement device. So I just push it all the way, put my thumb and my forefinger around that, and use that as a very simple, quick measuring device. Then I'll come over here, I'll put my thumb and my forefinger in line with the back of that car, and then note where that is. And what I actually do, make a little mark, and then go about 1/8 of an inch beyond that. That way, if I'm a little bit off, I've got a little wiggle room there, just in case. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom to make sure I get a good accurate mark. Again, you could use a ruler to measure this if you want, but I have found that this works just fine. Again, there's my mark there. I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch. And by the way, since this is full scale, if you took a ruler and measured these little blocks, they're 1/8 by 1/8. So which means 8 of these is equal to 1 inch. That's important to remember, and you'll see why in a second.